We're doing another grindy question. Container with most water, whatever that could mean. To get started, we are given an integer array height of length n. What is that? Well, there are n vertical lines drawn such that the two endpoints of the ith line are I, 0 and I, height I. What is, like, I think that has to do with this, but we'll keep reading to better understand what's going on. Find two lines that together with the x-axis form a container such that the container contains the most water. And to get the right answer, we want to return the maximum amount of water a container can store. And we can't slant the container, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. We'll figure it out. I was confused at first, but looking at it, it's like a volume calculation question where if we want to find the most water, this is like a real world problem too. If we want to find the most water, we need to figure out, it's like a base times height question at its core, where it has to be wide enough and high enough that the area between the first line and the second line and the height of it has to have the most area. So it's not so much like it's like a 2D volume question, which might be confusing, but it makes sense to me. The way that we'll solve it, which might seem tricky, but is more straightforward because I've been solving all these pointers and stack and arrays and hashing questions in the past videos. We use pointers to loop through the array and check, is this area the most? If it's not, we go to the next one. And then we can do the same thing from the right in. Is this area the most? Yes or no? Is this area the most? Yes or no? Is this area the most? Because we're iterating one line at a time until they meet in the middle, and then somehow we determine which one is the highest and the furthest to the right. To start, we can create two pointers. We have L and we have R, which equals 0 and the length of the height array variable here minus 1. It's important not to mess this up and understand that L is 0 and R is the length of the height minus 1. They're respective to that. Then you have the result, which is the maximum amount of water a container can store. We're initializing the variable here, and we have H, which is the overall max height. So then this is the conditional that we create with every single two pointers question. We have while L is less than R, because we're looping from this side to the right and from this side to the left, and we have the result of the maximum between the result, the minimum of height L, height R times R minus 1. Height L, what is height L? Height L and height R. If this is confusing, think of it this way. You're looking at the minimum at the position of L and the position at R. So L is on the left side and R is on the right side. And you're multiplying this minimum times R minus 1. And this, R minus L, my bad, R minus L times R minus L, which is the span, the base of the container. What this does is if this value is bigger than res, which is the result that you're giving the return that you're returning, then you set this as the new result. And you do that at the top before, which might seem confusing, but it's how you need to do it because you have other conditionals that check for other cases here. So we have if height L is less than height R, then we're going to move the left pointer to the right, which is with L plus equals 1, which adds 1 to itself. And then we can do an else if height R is greater than or equal to height L, and R we move to the left with the minus equals 1, which adds -1 to the same value. We're just saying, hey, to the left, I want to see my pointer move 1 to the left. And if we go to the next line here and we do R minus L times H, we're gonna get a less than equals res. Then we break out of the loop, and the next time then we return res and do it again, and then we'll go through again. So this makes a lot of sense to me because, so if R minus L times H is less than res, we're going to break out of the loop and go to the next one because this checks if the container volume is less than or equal to res. And if it's less than, then we know it's smaller than the maximum, which is what we set up here. So that's pretty straightforward to me. Okay, I submitted it actually, and it wasn't right, but I'll resubmit it. I think it was this. That was the problem. Yeah. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.